Meeting to order, we're gonna take up on item number 4 without objection. So we've got you guys were nominated and received an award, work program.
Give us a little background, Troy.
So we've been helping the Special Olympics
That's right.
for
I
since
know.
the beginning of
Yeah,
us
forever.
doing the program. And, we'll bend over backwards for them. Oftentimes we do Zoom meetings and in-person meetings with them, and they'll go around the room and ask, who you are and what do you do? And I always say, who we are, and we'll do anything they ask. I think over time they've gotten accustomed to that, and they nominated us for the award.
And we received acknowledgement, in a very nice letter that community work, Matthew and Troy were given that award. And have an awards dinner in October, Troy, is that correct?
Correct.
So,
21st apparently.
yeah, I'll represent the county if that's okay with the commissioners, and Troy and Matthew will be there, and I think Troy's parents, and as you know, from working at Riverside and at the House of Correction, they were both retired. Want to be there, is that correct?
They do. It was mandatory, they said.
And Matthew's parents, we don't care at all about him.
No, I agree.
That's my son.
I'll be there.
That's my son, that's why I
Yeah,
said.
now I see it.
So where's the dinner? What do you call
It's at the Chubb Theater in Concord.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, the travel center, right?
I believe it's
Right.
October 21st.
right.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
So I participated in an interview that they had with Mark Erickson that was gathering information. And these guys are exceptionally humble. They're not going to sit here and tell you just how incredible they are. So I'm just going to remind you of that fact. They commit to all things related to the Special Olympics. The Winnie Dip, they're there to set up and take down. They're there for the Summer Olympics to set up and take down. They're there for the Winter Olympics to set up and take down. And their executive director and the Special Olympics staff call them up and say, is there any chance you can do that? And I've been there when they've received those phone calls and they said, yeah, we'll take care of it. There have been times where I've said to them, hey, any chance that you might be able to do, X, Y, or Z? And they'll say, yeah, we've got to head down to Hampton today to get some barriers for something or another. But they'll say, as soon as we get back, we'll take care of whatever task it is that they need. On top of all of this, the cost savings that they create, not just for the county complex, but the towns that we serve. They also devote a lot of their time and some of their extra time to go up and help the Special Olympics. And if you've ever been part of a Special Olympics program, there's really nothing more incredible than that. To see the athletes, the way that they interact with law enforcement officials and with these guys, because some of them will say, hey, can I help? It really is pretty impressive. And so as we sat and talked to Mark Erickson, it was just really easy to see there's no way somebody else is gonna win this award.
And the other piece of that too is that the ladies and gentlemen that work with them would otherwise be incarcerated. So we're saving jail space by those people working under the supervision of, as you know, they're both certified correctional officers, so they, the people that we've convinced the courts that those people that are there for non-payment of fine or who can't pay their fines, can work it off through community work. That's been a real blessing for everybody.
Well, it's a well-deserved recognition. I think you guys have done. Yeah. You guys got a sport coat? You want to borrow one?
I know a guy, it's fine. Oh, there we go. More of my wardrobe goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice job, guys.
Yeah. Thank you. Congratulations.
Nice job, Matthew, and I love you.
Yeah. Well deserved.
Oh, wonderful.
All right, now you can go back to work.
Go back to
All
work.
right. Thank you very much.
I think Kathy's will only take a moment.
Yes, I should only take a moment.
Okay.
I'm sorry, we're jumping ahead of you.
Don't
Well, we're gonna spend a lot, I wanna spend a lot of time with you, so.
Not me so much.
Not you so much.
So I suggested to the Registry of Deeds Association that they contribute to the legal fees
Right,
for, and that we have incurred as a result of the city of Rochester, obviously, you know, suing me, and they did agree to do that, and they're
really?
going to contribute $2,500.
Well, that's
So
good.
it's something, you know, I was hoping to be a little more, but
Well,
I
hey,
did my best.
Yeah,
So, yeah, so,
But that-
yeah,
that's
so we
great.
should get that check in hopefully by the beginning of next week.
well,
So
thank you
that'll
for
get-
that effort, that's
Yes.
great.
Is there any update on that? They were talking about
They,
appealing?
he did not appeal,
He did-
so it's
passed the
done,
time? Okay,
yes,
great.
so that's been put to rest. Yeah,
So,
so-
what's been our total now on that?
I think we're close to 16,000, it's about 15,783, something like that, so.
Yeah, it was 11, and then, of course, with he asked for reconsideration, so we needed to file again.
And filed a another memorandum, I believe, so, yeah, so it's kind of,
we didn't have a choice, I mean, you know, we were in it, we were in it to win it, so.
Okay,
But it was clear that the, request for reconsideration was the next logical step for him to go to the Supreme Court. In other words, he had to do that if he was going the next step. And, but fortunately, cooler heads prevailed, and he decided not to appeal to the Supreme Court, or we'd be paying double or triple that.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yes,
well,
unfortunately, so.
Well,
every little
congratulations.
bit helps.
A little bit helps, yeah, so I just
Yeah.
wanted to let you know.
Okay, thanks,
Okay,
Kathy,
yeah,
for
thank
that,
you.
thanks for that effort.
Thanks, Ken.
Yes.
All right. So the chair will entertain a motion up to approve the minutes of September 4th.
So,
Second.
Any amendments or changes to the minutes?
no, but I had a hard time reading them. They were like forever long.
They were like that.
I think it was the way it went. I sent it differently this time, and I think that's what made it look a lot longer.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, all those in favor of the adoption, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the vote unanimous. All righty, now we're gonna move to, our meeting with the Democratic nominee for sheriff here in Strafford County. Good morning.
Morning.
Thanks for coming in. You did get our list of concerns or questions that we sent. Well, actually, we sent them, just to let you know, we sent them to both candidates because we wanted to find out what you think, and
Mhm.
you take a few minutes and talk with you about the sheriff's operations.
And certainly, first of all, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
That's a decisive vote.
Yeah, very, very much so. So I guess the biggest issue we have, one of them, well, we forwarded them a list of questions, but if you want to talk a little bit about it, is our transporting and our contracts with ICE and, you know, with the marshals. And so our relationship with them. And so that's really kind of like, that's the bread and butter for our operation here. In terms of revenue for the county, so that we don't have to raise taxes. That's pretty much what it boils down to. And we've had we've had that, relationship now for 20 years.
20.
Yeah.
It started with,
Construction of the.
yeah, it actually even started
Started
before then.
Right. Yeah. So how, I mean, you're okay with continuing that, I'm assuming.
So my initial response is that I've been very focused on campaign
Right.
in November.
Right.
And I have so many things that I plan to look at
Yeah.
on November 6th. And especially, well, not especially, those things that seem to be working very well. I would not imagine looking to change. You know, there's, it's clear that things have been, the last year, whatever the timeline is, that you've all been happy with how things have been going, and I don't see for any of those things, any reason, any of those contracts, a reason for it to be something that
Something different.
I would need to change,
Yeah,
yes.
We've been very happy, just to let you know, with Joe. I mean, Joe's brought a sense of stability to that department, and we had also brought in Charlie Reynolds to do an assessment of Cause we, you know, it was a tough year, we had some issues going on down there, so,
Would you like a copy of that report?
yeah.
Not at this time.
No? Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, but in any event,
I mean, that report, just so you know, has nothing to do with Brave. It was just a report
Yes.
on the assessment of the
Yeah.
department.
And those are definitely, that's, I would even add that to my list of things that November sixth, I feel, having never done any type of politics whatsoever, that, me keeping my eye on that at the moment it's the best use of
big time.
my time and energy, yes. And I'm certain that nothing's going to change
Right.
between now and November. And then I hope to be a quick learner with these things. And then I really hope to be able to sit and listen and observe for quite a while, even once I am in the position, I'm hoping, so.
Okay,
And just in terms of those other contracts, I mean, as long as I've been in Strafford County since 1986, I knew that the sheriff's office was responsible for the jail investigations, and that was, that's the way it's been, so that's what I would imagine continuing, so.
okay.
Yeah, there is a few years ago, the, CMS, the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, created a requirement that there be an agreement with a law enforcement agency to look into, incidences that occur at the nursing home. Now, those types of incidences are normally, resident to resident, confused, people who, you know, might be walking down the hall and just spontaneously slap somebody or something. Nobody's ever gotten hurt, but it is something that we're required to report to a law enforcement entity. And a number of years ago, I think it was, it's probably 6 or 8 years ago, that the sheriff's department kind of negotiated an agreement with the Dover police so that they didn't have to come out for these things because they're relatively routine investigations. And I know that, you know, Sheriff McGivern signed off on you know, the continuation of that agreement. So we're certainly hoping that would continue, you know, by yourself. It's not tremendously time consuming. You know, because we can provide the records that makes it impossible to ever determine intent. You know, they're just and that's 99% of the things that occur there. But the CMS regulations demand that we report it. So.
Just a question about the jail, like, all the PRIA reporting, do you handle all of that, or is it in conjunction with the sheriff's office because of the investigations are on?
We
sheriff's
handle specific aspects of PRIA reporting to agencies that were required to do so. There's not much that we can report because an investigation has to be completed. And then I'm looking for, our agency would be looking for one of three outcomes: substantiated, unsubstantiated, or unfounded. And those are the three words that we're looking for so that we can complete that report. However, the relationship that's been developed over the time that I've been here is that there's a fair amount of working, collaborative work process between investigators at the sheriff's department and investigators at the U.S. Marshal Service, for example, because they'll have questions, and sometimes they'll share information that we don't necessarily get read into until such time as it's time to read us into that stuff. So
We do have a PRIA hotline, that's answered at the county attorney's office. So that way there can be an independent source of reporting that in case there's a reluctance, to report it, you know, through the normal chain of command over at the House of Correction.
or if there's an allegation against something that
Or
happened during transport.
an officer,
Or an officer. So having that go directly to the county attorney's office takes out any potential assertion that somebody could say, I reported it to a party and they didn't do anything about it, so.
Okay, well, I guess, the list of questions we voted here are pretty self-explanatory. So, I'm sure I understand the nature of campaigning, you wanna get that behind you first before you dive into anything else, but that's the sheriff's department has expanded greatly over many years, based on the demands that not only the local PDs have requested of us, but just the nature of our business. I can remember when the department had 6 people in it, so, it's not like that anymore. So, you think colleagues you guys have any questions you wanna ask? No? You have anything for us? At this
I
point?
don't think so. I'm definitely will wanna look closely at those contracts at some point, but not at the moment, but
Sure.
like I said, it's,
Okay.
sounds like it's.
We'll make
those things are
we'll
going.
make any of the information.
Any information you want will,
Yeah.
will be available. Any inquiries, please just let us know and we're happy to provide that, during your campaign or certainly after your
Or if somebody
campaign,
asks you a
or
question.
if somebody asks you a question, whatever, we'll help you in any possible way we can.
Thank you.
Certainly, like the nature of the relationship between the jail and the sheriff's department is pretty important. And anytime that you would like to come over and see the facility, both yourself and candidate Tingle are more than welcome to do so. So I'll just put that out there as well.
Thank you. I had a good tour when I was in high school. I remember who was behind bars. It was it was a high profile one and it was,
Yeah,
I'll never forget.
well, all right.
But I know there's been many improvements since back then,
Yes.
the 90s.
Yeah, for sure. Alrighty, well, I guess we're all set then.
All right, yes.
Okay.
Thank
you.
you. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming.
Yes, thank you for having me.
you-
Appreciate it.
Does Jen have your cell phone number?
Yes,
We should have- Okay, good. All right, in case something
Yes,
something
feel free
crazy
to-
comes up.
be in touch, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, we can list of upcoming events. Any questions we have, any older new business? Okay.
So you notice that, I just wanted to point out, Mr. Chairman, that the Employee Appreciation Committee have it at the Rochester House. Yeah.
The invitations are on your desk.
Okay. Hey, you have any business from anybody? Any questions or comments? We don't have this. There's Rice here this morning. Wow. Alrighty. Chair will entertain a motion to go into non-public session. Personnel and contract negotiation.
Second.
All those in favor, oh, I'm sorry, just have a roll call, Commissioner
Yes.
Watson, Commissioner Lowell.
Yes.
Myself, yes, okay, Commissioner retired, executive session. Thank you all, thank you,